Welcome back to the Pulse. Before the break, we asked, who killed Arcturus Mink's family? There is only one answer to that question. What is it?
Braddock!
How could he?
Oh my goodness. But the answer is actually Sarah Kerrigan.
No, Lauren. now you're going to wake up with a piano wire around your throat.
Wasn't Lauren supposed to come into work
Braddock
today?
only kills with his bare hands. Man.
You will not see me on Wednesday.
Guys, if you're not sure, here's a picture of Braddock. The Stone Cold Killer himself. A very lethal man. There he is. He looks kind of like the T-2000 in Terminator 2.
And by the way, that is with us touching him up in Photoshop.
We have to add as well that he's actually a super sweet guy in real life.
Right,
really,
when he's
really
not
nice.
killing people, he's very polite.
At Home Circle Cup, we always make the joke that the meat that White Rat throws on the barbecue is collected by Braddock with his bare hands.
And it is, of course, true.
Yeah.
Seriously. Not even a joke. All right, guys, we are going to move into player moves. There have been quite a few of them. And we're going to start it off with the recently announced news that Tyler has left Team Liquid. It might come as a surprise to some other people that are closer to the TL crew and that know Tyler might not be that blown away by it. This is a guy that's been a little bit disenchanted with StarCraft recently. He said in his post that he knows that TL would probably support him until the end of his career, but he feels like this move may be what he needs to rekindle his passion for StarCraft and to get himself out of whatever kind of funk that he might have been in over the past year or 2 years. What do you guys think about Tyler making the choice to leave the team?
Very brave decision, and I kind of like it. I can understand on a certain point that you perhaps just want to start from scratch, and even though it might not seem like a big deal, as long as you're representing that TL tag, it brings pressure on your shoulders. And if you just didn't feel comfortable with that, I think it's very cool that, as you mentioned as well, Ben, that he said, if I wanted to, I could have stayed on TL, and I still love TL. I just feel this is the right thing to do for me right now, and I think it's a really brave decision by Tyler, and I really wish him all the best. And I would love to see some of that magic that I unfortunately have never seen because I wasn't a Brood War guy, and when I kind of sort of started following Brood War a little bit, he was already not playing that much anymore. I did see him back then in the start of the early MLGs in StarCraft II. He was getting better and better and better, but then it kind of stagnated and nothing really happened anymore. But I really hope we can see a lot from Tyler in Harder's Farm, and I think it's a cool move.
Andre, you definitely played with and against Tyler in Brood War. What can you tell us about Tyler then and Tyler now?
Tyler, what can I tell you about Tyler that what?
Tyler then versus Tyler now. Why are you choking back at a laugh? What is
I'm deciding whether okay, I think his attitude is
box.
yeah.
confession. All right, can we put the confession bear up on the screen?
Do we need a voodoo doll to demonstrate, Andre, what he did to you?
Show us where Tyler touched you.
Tyler's attitude has a drastic difference. You know, when I knew him back in Brood War, and don't get me wrong, I didn't know him that well. I wasn't like talking with him even. It was just I would watch his games, I would see his interviews, I would be really caught up. I would be a genuine fan of Tyler. In StarCraft II, towards this, maybe last half of Wings of Liberty, I have not been a Tyler fan. And I think it's because of his attitude. Of course, I have a little bit more insight into some things, but I know he rage quits. I know for sure. And a lot of people have told me that he's rage quit before, whether it be on ladder. He's rage quit to me on ladder before.
He's rage quit NASL tournaments.
NASL tournaments. Now, I fully understand that he has personal issues.
And no one understands rage better than Andre.
Yes. He's come out
Or
and
Andre's
said,
keyboard.
hey, I suffer.
Or our door to the office that you broke the other day.
He's come out and said.
Yeah, we have to clarify this for the viewers at home. Half the time, Andre leaves the office without saying goodbye. Just storms off. And then Ben looks at me and I guess he lost the game. Check his history. Yep,
People
he
win
did.
so illegitimately. That's why I understand like Tyler's frustration a lot of times when he loses, but he really lets it get to him. And I feel like he probably lets it get to him too much in StarCraft II. And maybe it is all this pressure that's coming down from being on such a prestigious team like Team Liquid. But the thing is, he deserved all the I guess accolades that he's received.
He deserved the accolades. He deserved the pressure. He deserved the hype.
Exactly.
He was probably the best non-Korean Brood War player ever.
He was. He 100% was. I mean, to come out of retirement basically, face off against a player that's been practicing in CJ Entis and also oh my gosh, what was the other team he was on? Eastro, yeah.
Who was the Brood War guy again?
I'm talking about Idra. I'm talking about Idra, of course. But the fact that he was able to come back out of retirement and beat him in TSL is a huge accomplishment. And I think he deserves to be on Team Liquid. It's just unfortunate because I feel like his mental fortitude was not able to withstand the time of consistent pressure.
Well, I remember the glory days of Tyler, and I would love to see those one day return because he did things in Brood War that were just really cool, playing unique army compositions that you can't really make work if you're not playing at 400 APM, and he was fast. But moving on with more team moves, Chae has recently been picked up by Team Fnatic. This is really cool news, and it goes right in line with Fnatic's promise to refocus their attention back on the European scene. That's how they built their brands. And Chae, of course, one of the best European Protoss players that there ever has been. And you know what, guys? Chae is on the line right now. Chae, how you doing, buddy?
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What are you looking at? I guess you're looking at your computer screen.
Yeah, because it's like your sound is lagging a bit for me, but I will try to answer your question.
Well, that's a very fancy Fnatic headset you got there, Chae. Why don't you talk to us about your new team?
I've been looking for a team for like 2 months, and I think I've been in talks with Fnatic for about 1 month, and we finally agreed on a contract, so I'm very happy about it.
Now, this is not the first time you've been a member of Team Fnatic.
No, it's not.
And I have been instructed to ask you, one, who is the current Fnatic StarCraft II team captain?
I'm not sure about that. Like, when I was in Quantic, they wanted to promote me to be the captain, but like, if I can't choose the players, like every player, and take care of them, I don't really want to be a captain of a team, so I don't mind if someone else is the captain of the team.
Okay, so current team captain, perhaps a little bit undeclared, undecided on Fnatic. Two, and this is the more important question, do you think whoever ends up being the team captain of Fnatic's StarCraft squad will be as good as the captain you had back in the Warcraft 3 days?
I don't remember the captain.
No, actually, I have to verify.
Oh, forever alone, Roddy.
No, I think being a captain on a team is like not very important unless it's like a Korean team where you live together and everyone looks up to you. Like, for example, where in StarTale everyone looked up to July, so he was a perfect captain, I guess, but yeah.
Boy, did this question ever backfire.
For foreign teams, it's not very important.
No, it was more of a joke team. Chae and me actually used to be in the same time as Fnatic Warcraft 3, but when I joined the team, we were one of the founding members of the Warcraft 3 team back then. But a lot of things changed, and Chae left pretty early on, and just much later on, I actually became the captain of the team. And that was after Chae left.
So, like, if you're saying that if you were the captain during his stay, then you would definitely remember, and he would never have left Fnatic in the first place. He would be a career Fnatic member.
And he would have probably been the absolute best player in the world.
Probably under RotterdaM's leadership.
Or second.
Or second best.
I have some questions for Kim. Kim, you've been spending quite some time in Taiwan right now. What are your current plans? Are you going to stay there for a while? Are you going to go to Korea again like you did back then when you were in Quantic? Or are you going to live in Europe for a while? Because Fnatic has some European plans as well regarding a team house.
I plan to stay in Taiwan. Like, Korea is nice, but it's a lot of things are hard for me because I don't speak any Korean at all. But in Taiwan, I speak some Chinese, so
what?
If I wanna like go out, have fun, I can talk to people. If I wanna eat, it's easy for me. And also the weather is very hot here, so like it's winter in Korea and Europe, so I plan to stay here. Also, I play TSL. They just started a Taiwanese one-on-one league, so I will play this league for I think 2 more months.
2 months to see you ending up against Sen in the final.
No, I played my first game today and I lost, but it's Wings of Liberty, and like Sen told me 9 out of 10 games the Taiwanese players will all in, and that's what happened. So, I'm just waiting for Heart of the Swarm where I can play a little bit more safe and scout stuff.
All right, that's very cool. Also, a question about your new teammates. Obviously, Harstim is going to be on your team, a Dutch Protoss player. Have you ever interacted with him? Have you played with him? And how do you feel about him? And of course, the other guys as well, Nama and the man that everyone loves, Nighthand. And the new talents they recently picked up.
I've even been dancing with Harstim in Assembly, I think, the after party, so I know him. But I think Nighthand is the one I'm closest with on Fnatic now. Except for Karn, of course, but he's not a player.
And what about the youngsters that the Fnatic Academy has picked up roughly a month or two ago? How familiar are you with them? Because I believe both of them are Swedish, or at least one of them.
One is Swedish and the other one is Danish. The Swedish guy I have no clue about, but Pink, I played him in the finals in the TSL qualifiers last year in right after DreamHack.
Cool. Okay. Well, Sasa, we really want to thank you for coming on and talking to us a little bit about your new team. Is there anything you'd like to address to or say to the community just in light of this new move for you?
Thanks to Fnatic, of course, for picking me up and giving me this chance. And thanks to everyone who supports me and also everyone who's watching my stream right now. So I will go back to streaming.
No, you go back to watching the Pulse, Sase.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you very much.
All right, man. We'll see you later. Good luck with Fnatic. That is Sase, recently picked up by Team Fnatic, where, as you guys heard, he will be continuing to practice and play in Taiwan, competing in the Taiwanese Star League. Is that what TSL stands for, I guess?
Yeah.
It's like the TESL or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's a new one-on-one league. I was surprised that he lost his first game, but as you said, the Wings of Liberty, perhaps he didn't care. He's only been playing Heart of the Swarm for a while. I do want to say that I think this is really an excellent pickup for Fnatic, and I'm really happy with this news. I think it's awesome. A player like Sazu should always be on a pro team. Certainly with what you already mentioned as well, that Fnatic is going to focus more on the European market again. The Korean adventure, they didn't say it was a failure, but it also wasn't a massive success. So they're kind of going to refocus on the European market. And when a player like Sazu is up for grabs, I think it's awesome. And I expect great things out of him at the MLG, for instance, even though he has a very tough first round.
Do have a couple more player moves to talk about, and then the next one's one that I'm personally very excited about. Tarson has found a new team. Tarson getting picked up by My Insanity, so formerly of Team Millennium, the Polish Terran player.
I love this, by the way, okay? Because they're like, let's get a highlight reel of Tarson. Metalopolis!
Hey, it could have been worse. It could have been Tarzan at Home Story Cup with a 2-liter bottle of vodka.
But it was just funny for me to watch this. Still, I love Tarson. He's a great guy.
Tarson, famously called the Drunk Terran. I also love Tarson, although
Look
it
at
is
all this fourth place.
although it is a little bit frustrating. Every time I meet Tarson, the first thing he asks me is, "How's your girlfriend?"
But I always have the perfect reaction. I like to tease Tarzan about his girlfriend. Long story.
Yeah, long story and one. It's maybe better
for another time.
We'll save it for when Tarson can actually join us on a show. Not necessarily a team move, but a move nonetheless. Nada has recently announced that he will be captaining Azubu's World of Tanks team. What? The greatest RTS player of all time, maybe. Certainly one of the best Brood War pros and one of the greatest Terrans to play the game of StarCraft Brood War, and he will no longer be playing StarCraft at all. It will be World of Tanks. A strange move, but I'm sure that the genius Terran can apply his talents and do some great work for Azubu, I think.
Yeah, it's good with tanks and Brood War. I'm sure it'll be good with one tank here. So
I want to verify that I do not think that this has absolutely anything to do with money.
FXO Choya has announced his retirement from StarCraft II altogether. Choya enjoying a couple of runs through GSLs and has played some good games here and there along the way, but I don't think he's ever had that one truly fantastic breakout story. So he will be moving away from it. It's always sad to see a player go, but such is the way the world turns. The last team move that we had to talk about, Squirtle announcing that he will be joining LGIM. This is big news because he left StarTale for a Kespa team. And then all the Kespa teams said, no, actually, we don't really want you. And Squirtle was left sort of hanging. He's certainly a very good Protoss player, but we know already that LGIM was not his first choice. How dare I almost not mention the fact that Team Light has announced that, well, they're not necessarily disbanding, but the contracts on all their players have expired, and all of those players are now free to seek new employment. So Duran actually posted, Xeris actually posted in one of the threads that popped up on Team Liquid that this is not a money thing. There's clearly something else internal going on that has made the Light guys choose to perhaps go separate ways. So.
And we have a real big fan of Team Light in our production because we have 3 assets dedicated for their transaction. We only had like one small one for everyone else. And
did we even get a
giant?
Did we even get a picture of Squirtle in there?
Squirtle, I am, yeah.
Well, you guys know,
you
I
like
used to
Light.
be on Team Light for a very long time in StarCraft Brood War. That's where I
Well, a lot of people forget that Light was a team,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't a team, and then they came back.
So it was Light, and then we got sponsored by this company called Expertise. So we changed to Expertise, then back to Light, and then basically the whole team went to Fnatic.
Yeah.
And then, of course, back to Team Light. The way the world turns, man.